Censoring the facts turns our children into idiots. They claim it's for our safety. I'll tell you what it really is. Removing information that empowers all the citizens. The truth doesn't damage points of view that are legitimate. They're trying to change amen to amen. And
all right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dion's Daily Dose. Probably, at least likely, the last one before the election. I don't think there's a whole lot else that I'm going to be able to do or say. It is what it is. But tonight we have a special show. What we're going to do is we're actually going to cover the people on your ballot, what we were able to find out about them, what various people think about them, and you get the opportunity to hear what our thoughts are. If you care, fantastic. If you don't, whatever. Don't watch it. No, I'm just kidding. My son will be joining us here in a little bit. He has to finish his dinner. I have Shawn and Ben Holmgren here. You guys have met Shawn before. I think this was Ben's first appearance here, but we're just going to have a good roundtable discussion about the various candidates, ballots, etc. I'm going to bring them on. I'm going to see what we can figure out as far as the screen goes, and so you guys can follow along with us. And here we go.
Hi, Dion.
Hey, all right, there we go. That's not too bad, is it? Welcome, gentlemen. I appreciate you taking the time out to hang out. All right, so we've got, if I can get this, there we go. All right. So up on the screen here, which I think people can see, this is the federal, state, and county Republican candidates. But what we also have is we have the general election candidates for Porter County. And if I can get to it, that's not it. Let's see. Oh, I know what I have to do. I have to go to this. Sent a link to myself for the ballot. I just got to get it. All right, here we go. There's that. And then I can go back to this. I meant to have that done. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you, your patience here. Okay. So we're going to start at the top, start with the distance ones, federal, etc. I would say probably the hardest one for a lot of Republicans is the U.S. Senator race. What do you guys think?
I think that Todd Young is probably going to win re-election. What do you think the polls are, Ben?
Well, I do think Todd Young definitely is probably going to beat McDermott. Not by the numbers that you think a Republican normally would, but I definitely see him getting around 55, 56%.
And the Libertarian probably get around 4.
Maybe. I'm not sure how well this Libertarian is compared to the ones they've had in the past. I know definitely they've had stronger candidates before for the Libertarian candidate. But I seriously think Todd Young is definitely going to win.
I'm trying to decide which layout. I think I like.
Yeah,
so,
I do too.
Do you think that there are Republicans out there that are going to have trouble voting for Young this time around?
Yeah, I do, because of his that he voted for the gun compromise bill. Yeah.
Okay, but there's not really. I mean, is there really a better option on the ballot?
No, there's not.
I mean, obviously, McDermott is definitely not going to, be on the side of the Second Amendment. We know that. He made a big stink about his, pro-cannabis and all this stuff. But in reality, I don't think McDermott would make a good senator. And the unfortunate reality is the Libertarian, was that the guy that said he was a Hufflepuff? You guys remember?
He was what?
A Hufflepuff. I'm pretty sure that was the guy.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. He came out during the Senate debate. They had Young and who was the McDermott? Yeah, and I don't remember the Libertarian's name. Siniak. Yeah, which, to be fair to James Siniak, he said some other stuff that was pretty good. He had some good points. I especially respected the fact that he went out and he cleaned up the highway and he sponsored the highway instead of like going door to door or whatever. But all that said, he comes out and he introduces himself and he says, and I'm a Hufflepuff. And unfortunately, I was just, this isn't for even a local office. This is United States Senate. Unfortunately, we have to have a level of professionalism and decorum that, and I just don't think it meets that. I have to go. Were you guys even aware that there was a write-in candidate for this race?
Yeah, I was aware of it. They actually contacted me and wanted me to support the write-in candidate, but I decided to vote for Todd Young.
Hey, come on in. Donovan's finally done eating.
Did you know that, Ben?
I remember you telling me about it, but I really didn't pay that close attention to it.
I can't remember the name.
Yeah, his name is Danny Niederberger. He is a Republican. Yeah. We actually went to a function where we got to hear him speak, and to be fair to him, he made some really good points. He had some solid policies that he plans on doing. I don't know what the reasonable expectation of winning is as a write-in candidate. Based on everything I've read, it's not strong at all. So yeah, unfortunately, in this race, I don't see any other possibility if we want to maintain Republican control of the Senate, is to Liz said Hufflepuffs don't belong in politics. Yeah. In order to maintain control of the Senate, I think we almost have to, swallow it and vote, Republican on that. Okay, so moving on, Secretary of State. That's a big one. So our options are Democrat Destiny Wells, Republican Diego Morales, and Libertarian Jeffrey Moorer, which I had on the show, and it was a great conversation. And I want to say this before we go forward, just so everyone's aware. I've had some people give me flack for people that I've had on the show. We've sent out invitations to everyone across the political spectrum. We've sent invitations to Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians. Very, very few people respond and actually want to come on. Former mayor was the first Democrat that actually accepted the invitation to come on. So for those of you who, hate him or whatever, that's your choice. I am a free speech advocate. I would like to have a conversation with anyone and everyone. I don't care what side of the political aisle they're on or what they're, involved in or whatever. Always up for a conversation. But you guys want to talk a little bit about what as far as Secretary of State goes?
Well, I know Diego has some issues with scandal. I think he did sexual harassment allegations. We don't know if it's true or not, but the allegations are out there. And also, he worked in the Secretary of State office twice, and he quit twice. I believe it was, wasn't it, Dion?
Yeah, there were allegations that he was fired. He says that he quit. I know that he worked under Rokita, and Rokita has come out and said there's no bad blood. I would rehire him. So I don't know how much that is. As far as the allegations, the individuals that really pushed that it was a certain radio station, and immediately after they published that, they were accused of the same thing. At that point, they went silent. So I don't know what's going on with all of that. Let me be very clear. I don't have any insider info or know anything more. I just know that it was a couple of individuals from Indianapolis area that had, become very vocal about it. And then there were a couple of stories that ran about them, and they were suddenly very quiet. So that's all I know.
And I know that the Libertarian candidate for Secretary of State's a really good candidate too. I wish he would have been able to run. I don't know if he just ran because he's a Libertarian, or if he didn't get the Republican nomination or not. But I remember him coming on your show, and he was a pretty good candidate.
He is. He is a really good candidate. I actually like him as a person a great deal, Jeff Moore. But again, what are the numbers going to say? Can a libertarian pull enough votes to actually win? For Secretary of State, I don't know. For a local race, quite possibly. But according to him, he's a dyed-in-the-wool libertarian and isn't what do you call it, Republican light. People that couldn't get on the Republican ballot, so they ran as a libertarian. He's, according to him, he's a true libertarian. So,
Okay.
I will tell you this: Destiny Wells wants federal control of our elections. She admitted as much during the Secretary of State debate, forum, whatever you want to call it, and that alone really, really concerns me.
Yeah, that concerns me too.
Yeah, it's not
every
something
state
that
should be in control of their election.
Right.
Any thoughts, Ben?
That was actually my question: does she have any connections with like groups with George Soros? Because I'm not too far. I know that he usually tries to fund the Democrats for the Secretary of States in different states.
That I know of,
Yeah.
no. But did you find anything, Dion?
I have not found any direct connections. I do know that she has some concerning endorsements and some concerning, and again, all of that aside, she admitted during the debate that she wants federal control of the elections. According to her, the federal government should be running the state elections. As a matter of fact, she accused Moore of being some sort of conspiracy theorist or something, some derogatory term that believes states should maintain control of their elections. It was weird. It was a bizarre exchange, and I can't remember the exact parts of it, but I do remember that I looked at my wife and I'm like, oh yeah, she's very concerning. What, you got any input yet, or just wait?
I believe that she is.
Did you see any parts of the debate, the Secretary of State debate?
I believe you showed me a little bit of it. I just wanted to say that the whole federal control of state elections is completely ridiculous, and we have too much of that already. And there's already too much federal intervention in our states. I believe the states should hold the power, and she's obviously completely against that.
There you go. And Liz mentioned her eyes. Anytime anything with voting comes up, her eyes change and it gets intense. Let's just say that it gets very intense. Yeah, sleeper agent. She's got that whole just shift going on with the eyes. So I think it's pretty clear. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead.
Anyone who supports the federal government getting involved in the elections, I don't think could be any more in favor of the federal government being in control of states, because on the most fundamental level, elections are what dictates how a state is controlled, how a state acts, how a state is I guess portrayed even. And anyone who supports the federal government meddling with that election just wants the federal government to run that state, essentially.
Right.
And I think that's ridiculous in the simplest sense.
Yeah, there's a reason that the states and that's what it was. That was the word I couldn't think of. Manchurian candidate. Yeah, the Manchurian candidate eyes that just shift. But if you guys want to learn more about Diego, it is Diego 4 Indiana.com. Let me get it back up here. Where's that? There it is. Yeah, Diego 4 Indiana.com. You guys should be pretty up on Todd Young by this point. I don't think there's a whole lot you're going to learn about him by going to his website. But if you don't know Diego, there we go. All right. Let's see here. What are the election thing that I went to? There it is. No, that's Florida County. Where's the?
You got this. I believe in you.
Yeah, I do. There it is. General election
There we go.
candidates.
You rolled right over it. The first
Right? Okay. So,
time. All right.
yeah, so that was Senator, Secretary of State, Auditor. What do you guys know about the auditor position? Like, how important do you think that is?
Probably pretty important. I'm not exactly sure what the auditor does. Audit the state finances, I assume.
Let's
Dion?
There's only one. She's a CPA.
Yeah, well, the candidate, the Republican candidate. There's a Democrat and a Libertarian candidate, which I have not had the opportunity to learn about. But let's take a look. Let's see here. What does be good if I could type?
Yeah.
State auditor do? Accounting for all state funds, overseeing and dispersing county, city, town, and school tax distributions, paying the state's bills and state employees.
I was mostly right.
Yeah, administering Indiana's deferred compensation plan known as Hoosier Start.
I mostly knew.
Yeah, so that's conducts audits,
Shawn
investigations, and
was
stuff.
pretty-
Yep,
pretty
Shawn
spot
nailed
on
it.
there.
Look at that. Promote accountability and transparency, improve performance, make government work better. So yeah, pretty important, I would say.
Yeah. Pretty essential.
Yeah. So Tara Klutz has been the auditor for
Wait. Tara who?
Klutz. Yeah. Yeah.
Is she
With
a good
K,
auditor or is she a really
She is. She is.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Let's see. And yeah, she's a CPA and it's her last term if she does get reelected. I haven't seen any issues with the things that they cover. I haven't seen any negative press. I haven't seen anything. You
I haven't
guys
seen any huge articles about, get Tara Klutz out of office. I haven't seen anything like that.
right? What do you guys think? Have you seen anything negative? Any
No.
reason?
Not.
I also haven't seen any articles like she's the best auditor in the world, but I mean, haven't seen anything negative.
Right.
So.
I've
Does that
talked to
thing-
her remotely, but I haven't really actually met her.
Does that thing pick me up from over here?
Yeah.
I think yeah, it does.
Can you guys hear Donovan okay?
Yeah.
I can.
All right, good.
Good
It's kind of centrally located over there. So.
Yeah, I couldn't find the other microphone that I had, but I'm gonna dig it up for if he's gonna be on the show some more. But I think it'll be all right. So Treasurer of State, we have the Democrat candidate Jessica McClellan and the Republican candidate Daniel Elliott. Now I have met Dan Elliott, and he genuinely seems like a really nice guy. Let me go. Let me dig up Tara Klutz's
Website.
Yeah. Okay, so it's just so you guys know, it's taraklutz.com. That's TERAKLUTZ.com. So if you guys want to go and learn more about Tara, that's how you can get to it. Let's see here.
Daniel Elliott is also.
Yeah, it was a very, just so you guys know, yeah,
3 votes, aka me, you, and Shawn or Ben.
yeah,
Just
3 votes. He won the
people
nomination.
in this
by.
house
Mhm.
changed that race.
Yeah,
Just
pretty much.
3
I mean,
people.
Yeah, it was a very close race, but he won the primary. He's genuinely seems like a super nice guy.
And that is how the easiest and fastest way to prove that every vote counts.
Yeah.
Every single vote counts. If all of us here on this stream right now voted for the other candidate,
Yep.
then
it would have
Daniel
changed.
Elliott would have lost.
Yep.
That simply.
Yeah, at the convention, which is a little different than the general election, but that's how critical every single vote
That
is.
is how insanely close things can be.
So if you guys want to learn more about Dan, his website is danielelliott.org.
I like the
So
website
this
design.
is .org. So just remember.
It's not a half bad website.
No, it's actually
A lot
Pretty
of these
nice.
are kind of shambled together.
Yeah.
Oh, I need a website.
and he, from what I understand, he's a very laid back individual. One of the big things in his platform at the convention was that he is not from a rich neighborhood. He's not, surrounded by large mansions and stuff like that, which one of the candidates running was the case for them. So, but he won, and I personally, I think he'll do a great job. Anything you guys want to add?
Nope, I got nothing to add.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm glad my wife mentioned this. He is involved and very experienced with cybersecurity, which I think is critical, especially these days. I think that's something that we all need to be aware of, that our systems are constantly under attack at the federal level, but at the state level as well. So District 1, United States Representative District 1, this is going to be a huge race, because I'm going to tell you, I have never seen the kind of support that I have seen for a Republican candidate in the 1st district. Yep. Jennifer Ruth Green has just this huge movement that is, for someone who is not already in office, it's unheard of.
Massive.
I mean, it's massive.
She had such massive press that I actually thought she was in office for a brief time before I even knew she was a candidate. I thought she was already in office running for re-election because of how overwhelming the A, support, B, just sheer amount of press and signs and, you know, all that. It was wild. You
Right.
know? I didn't think someone could come that just like that, you know, so just forward, you know?
Right. Well, we'll start with Shawn. What do you think about the current rep, Mervan?
I am not a fan of Frank Marvan. It's frustrating when you write him and you never get a response from him. I think the race between him and Jennifer Ruth Green is going to be really close. It's probably going to it could go either way, and it'll probably be within 1%.
Wow, you think
At least with Pete
that close?
Viscoski too, he wrote you back, but he doesn't really do constituents. Doesn't serve his constituents very well.
I agree with you there. I believe that honestly, I'm going to tell you, I think this job is too big for him. I have heard that there are something like 80,000 unanswered messages that he has.
80,000.
That's what I heard. If we even cut that by,
like 80 and then 3 more zeros.
Yeah.
Good.
If
God.
It's even 80, that's
still too much.
Unacceptable.
Yeah.
Unacceptable. But my understanding is there are a large number of unanswered messages that he has. And
if you have a 10th of that, that's still insane.
Exactly.
You cannot just ignore everyone who writes you.
Right. What about you, Ben? What do you think of our current representative?
Yeah, I think these last 2 years, Frank Mervan has pretty much failed our district. Yeah, even Pete did the bare minimum. You wrote him, he'll give you a form letter. Once a year, he'd do a town hall, but at least he'd talk to you. He'd tell you his opinion. We may have disagreed and everything, but at least he served our district and he was a representative. Frank Mervan really doesn't represent us.
Right. And I would agree. He seems to vote for what he's told to vote for. And I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it'll be any different if you elect McDermott. I think McDermott will fall in. He already said he, loves Nancy Pelosi, so he will vote the way she wants him to, is my firm belief. I think the same thing is true with Mervan. He votes the way the party tells him to. And from his campaign account, he has spent money to upgrade his wife to first class on multiple occasions.
And that's not like his personal fund either. Right.
It's his campaign fund. It isn't exactly taxpayer money, to be fair. It's money that's donated to his campaign. But nonetheless, that's not
being used
not
for
what it's for.
Purposes,
Right. To flying her back and forth to Washington, D.C., upgrading to first class is not campaign.
At least
expenses.
Pete seemed to kind of care.
Yeah, and like Liz says, Pete would go to the schools and meet with the kids at least. Like you said, he would have the occasional town hall. You would at least get a form letter back if you contacted him. And my understanding, although I don't have personal experience with this, Pete actually responded to the veterans and assisted the veterans when they needed him, regardless of party. He actually was on board for helping vets. Mervan talks a lot about, local things and vets and stuff like that, but he doesn't seem to actually do anything. And I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys have seen the ads, right? The YouTube ads attacking Jennifer Ruth Green, right? You guys seen those?
Yeah, they're
Do you guys notice there seems to be a central theme in every Democrat attack ad that these people are too dangerous, too dangerous, too extreme, too dangerous. Every single Democrat attack ad that I've seen have all revolved around
too extreme or too dangerous.
Yeah.
Unfit.
Yeah, unfit for office. Which is quite amusing.
They all seem to have one other thing in common.
Okay.
If you've noticed it, have you?
That they're all lies?
Well, I mean, okay, they have two more things in common.
Okay.
Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
Do they all go after Republicans? I'm not sure what you're...
The abortion thing.
Because it's the only issue they have.
They're never talking about anything economical. They're never talking. It's never even about pollution, which has always seemed to be a thing.
Yeah, the climate.
It's always and only about abortion. Like the Jennifer Ruth Green thing. That's the only thing they're attacking her on. Is her abortion policies. The entire 15 or 20-second ad is entirely about abortion. Right. There's not one other issue that they press that I know of.
Yeah. Unskippable, I might add.
Yeah, unskippable, which is incredibly annoying. I want to watch my cat videos, but no.
Anything else you guys want to add for the first district race?
I think that it's going to be close, but I mean, first district since 1931 has gone Democrat. I'd say it's a little more favorable for Green this time around, but I still think Frank Vervan has probably going to narrowly escape and still be our congressman.
Okay. All right. So both of your predictions are that Mervan is barely going to pull it out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will say this, and my wife mentioned this earlier, and I wholeheartedly agree. If Jennifer Ruth Green cannot win this race, Republicans need to just move on and focus somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because she, like I mentioned, and I again stand by this, she has overwhelming popular support, overwhelming number of donations.
I've had to have seen at least 100 JRG signs, shirts. Like, it's insane.
The grassroots support she has, I'm like super, super jealous because obviously, I was unable to generate a fraction of what she was. If she can't win this, and look, for many, many years we had the same Republican candidate, and not to bash him, but it was the same thing over and over and over. And maybe his numbers fluctuated a little, but I never saw the kind of support for him that I do for Jennifer Ruth Green. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah. He also went against Visklosky too. So, I mean, I knew a lot of people who were conservative and everything, but they always jumped the ticket over for Visklosky.
And that's an interesting point. I'm glad you mentioned that because there are a lot of people that kind of sucked it up, as it were, right? Maybe veterans who said, well, Visklosky at least gets me my benefits. Visklosky at least stays in touch. And they didn't want to take the chance on getting someone who did not respond, who did not do the job. The seat was open. I ran, was unsuccessful in the primary. But again, the same person won it. And when, the primary, I mean, and then in the general, when Mervan won, we've seen a very different representative than Visklosky was. He policy-wise, same thing, but as far as actions, as far as responding, as far as, doing the job, I think I think we can do better. And I think conservatives are a lot more likely to give Jennifer Ruth Green a chance versus if she was up against, say, Visklosky, like you pointed out.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So I'm going to tell you, I don't actually know that much about District 2. Michigan City's in District 1, but part of LaPorte County is District 2, and we had Walorski for many, many years. She was well liked, loved even in her community. You may not agree with her politics, but Jackie Walorski was a true servant. She was out there helping people. She was a great lady. I truly believe that, and I truly believe she did what she thought was best. She voted for what she thought was best, and she was also very, very involved in her community. There are a lot of people that were really heartbroken. Her service was huge. I attended it, and there were a lot of people there. A lot of people. Now, the only person that I'm aware of, I know of two of these. I do not know who Democrat Paul D. Stewart is, but Rudy Yakum. Rudy. Yeah, he has Jackie Walorski's husband's endorsement and her mother. He says he wants to carry on Jackie's policies. I think they were friends, actually. Liz says she's heard him talk. He comes across as authentic, honest, and his plan is to carry on Jackie's mantle. Do you guys know anything about any of these candidates?
I think he was her chief of staff, if I remember right.
Was he?
Maybe not. He was in her office for something. I can't remember, but I think that district's safe Republican. That's all I really know.
Oh yeah, I did. You know what? I did meet Paul Sturry, Paul for All. I will say it's a catchy slogan, Paul for All. And yeah, we at the Farm Bureau
definitely friends
banquet that they have for candidates. I met him briefly. He seemed like a pretty nice guy, but obviously we know, the Democrat agenda at this point, unfortunately. So let's see if we can find. Oh, hold on, we'll do that first. Okay, so rudyforindiana.com is his website. You should be able to find him, no problem. But
hold on, just 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Liz for lots next time.
I was really trying to catch that before you said that's a terrible slogan. That's horrific. That's terrible. I was trying to get there before you saw that.
And look,
get rid of that.
So if you type in Jennifer Ruth Green into Google, the first thing up here is the ad paid for by Indiana Democratic Congressional Victory Committee. Too extreme. What do we say about the word, right? The word extreme or dangerous. Yeah. Help us spread the truth about extreme Ruth Green. She's too extreme for us. Green supports extreme government overreach. They're talking about abortion, by the way. It's funny that the Democrats.
That's what I was about to say. It's hilarious. Democrats are talking about government overreach. Right. Like, really? It's almost like just funny.
Yeah, government
Democrats, right? Democrats talking about government overreach. You've got to be kidding me.
So her website is jennifer-ruthgreen.com. If you put it into Google, just remember that apparently the first thing that pops up is a Democrat ad. So
Frank Dunn for King.
Yeah, and that's a good question too. What exactly has Frank Mervan done for kids and women so that abortion doesn't actually have to happen? And I think we both know the answer to that.
Or how now that this abortion thing is passed, their entire argument against Ruth Green has just become null and void.
Yeah, well,
it's over. Like
here's the thing: if they get overwhelming control, they have every intention of trying to write around laws.
But, like right now, as it stands, it's over. It's already passed.
It's already
done.
Right. Okay, so
what's next?
Let's see here. Anything else you guys want to point out about District 2?
Sure, it's safe with the Republicans.
I think Rudy's going to carry it. Anybody who loved Jackie hears he got the endorsement from her family, and I don't see it as being a real challenging win for him.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, an endorsement or an endorsement. Endorsement. That's what
that's okay.
Yeah, based on the word. An endorsement from the
Walorski's mom and husband.
That's what it was. Yeah, her mother and husband. I mean, it doesn't get more compelling than that.
Right.
That he would carry on Walorski's like mantle. It's
Right.
hard to find an argument against that.
Right.
So if I was a complete, yes man for Walorski, I would absolutely vote for him just for the principle of both husband and mother. Like, it's just
there you go.
It's hard to just no he won't after such a strong endorsement like that.
And let's bear in mind, Walorski is so well known and so loved that even Biden forgot about her passing, but he asked for her. Like, he specifically asked for Jackie when he's doing things. And yes, I'm sure it was painful for the family, and I could go on and on about Biden, but it shows like what an impact she's made. All right, so State Senate District 4. All right, guys. Now this one's going to be interesting in my opinion. So Rodney Pohl, who is serving the end of his first term, he was caucused into the seat by Senator Talion. She stepped down. Rodney Pohl Jr. stepped in. And then Jeff Larson is the Republican running against him. I have spent quite a bit of time talking to Jeff Larson, but before I go in, what do you guys know about each of them, and like which way are you leaning?
This chair. I don't know a lot about either of them, but it would be nice to have a Republican Indiana State Senator. I don't know the polls for that. We are in a blue district, so I'd have to say Polls is probably going to win. Don't you think, Dion?
Well, here's the thing. We have a whole lot of Republican state senators. There, we have the supermajority. That said, can you guys think of anything really strong that Pohl has done since being in as senator? He doesn't have a lot of wins. In my opinion, he gets up and he talks about the things that he wants to do, but I don't really know that there's a lot of achievements that we can point to other than I'm trying to do what he continually says. I'm trying to carry on Talion's legacy. Karen Talion was a Democrat in a Republican majority who talked about lots of issues and maybe tried to spearhead some things, but wasn't able to accomplish much. I think that's the same thing. On the other hand,
there it is.
Yeah, Jeff does have a good mix of experience, education, small business, law enforcement.
I'd like to say in the time that I've had with him, because I've interacted with him on multiple occasions when we were at the fair, when we went to, what was the event? We went to a really
we had a meet and greet with him.
We had, it was kind of recent. Jeff showed up. Do you know what I'm talking about? I can't remember exactly what the event was.
Well, was it a fair?
I heard his ad today on the radio.
For
John Costas, former mayor of Valpo.
Did
an ad for him.
For Larson?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, I will say this. I went to a kind of a get out the vote event, whatever, where lots and lots of,
Guess we're just in the dark.
Apparently.
Listen to the radio more, I guess.
Apparently. But I went to an event that he had in Valpo, and there were a considerable number of Valpo residents and just Porter County residents in general, and they all have an extremely high opinion.
Yeah, but
of Jeff.
As I wanted to say, from the interactions I've had with him, he seems like a great guy. Mm-hmm. He seems when to be serious and when to kind of let go of some of that demeanor,
Right. He can. I will say he can come off kind of gruff.
He can.
He's got that face that face that looks like he's angry.
But as soon as you talk to him, the dude softens up. Yeah.
He's
from what I've interacted with him and all that, he seems to be a great dude.
Mhm.
So
you can find out more at votejefflarson.com for him. Anything else you guys want to add? Have you guys had an opportunity to talk to him? I know you have a little bit, Shawn, not as much as,
Yeah,
I'd
I
like,
talked to him.
but Ben, have you had a chance to talk to Jeff or Rodney?
No, I haven't.
Okay. I was just wondering. All right. So district, let's see. District 4, District 7. All right. So Ross Deal, I don't know who that is, but Teshka, he's already in office. He served, I think, 1 term. Do you guys know if Teshka's kind of east of here, and I don't know that you guys may have had any interaction.
Yeah, I think it's 1 term.
Yeah, I think he's served 1 term, and he seems to be a really good guy. I've talked to him a few times, although not extensively. Liz likes Jake, and I'll say this: he has spearheaded quite a bit for his first time in office. He's been able to really get out there and get some things going. So let's see here. All right. So here's his.
they seem to follow a similar format of name.com.
Yeah, I mean that's really the best way to do it.
Yeah, hard to forget that kind of URL. Teshka has been.
Yeah, and South Bend politics and community betterment involvement. Liz is my researcher. She generally has way more information on candidates than I do. But
You're always busy giving yourself a good name.
Right? Trying anyway. So here's what his big thing is: empowering parents and supporting local schools, helping Hoosier taxpayers, defending the lives of the unborn, protecting individual liberties. Now, of course, the left believes that anyone who believes in the right of a baby to exist must be evil. So
They're
obviously,
too extreme.
Yeah, they're too extreme.
Wanting
Life for all, right? Yeah, she said, "I know lots of things." Yeah, but you shouldn't. Lots of them you shouldn't know. Do you guys even know who this Ross Deal guy is?
Never heard of him.
Yeah, I have no idea.
No. All right.
Yeah, I've never heard of the guy.
Okay, so let me see if I missed anything on. Okay, so District 4, they didn't even put a challenger in for state rep. It's Soliday.
Okay.
The Democrats didn't even run anybody. Now Soliday's been around for a long time. Here's the thing: is running somebody against him, I think, would honestly be kind of pointless.
Yeah.
I mean, people in general, he's well respected on both sides of the aisle. There are those people, obviously, that are, but the vast majority of people, no, it's like I've been to forums where, some unhinged lefty gets up and starts screaming at him. But in general,
you can't say these things. It's too extreme.
Right?
Or have you talked about how you were number 1056 or whatever?
No.
All right.
Here's the thing: they already put enough out there. I don't need to add to it. Okay, so let's jump for a minute and do District 10.
Oh God, they're on our thoughts.
Yeah,
He's a pretty solid candidate.
yeah. Soliday is what she meant. Is pretty solid. Yeah. See what I did there? Stop it.
Yeah.
Just stop it. Yeah. Please don't click off. She doesn't mean it. What do you guys know about Mosley or Maldonado?
I know a little bit about each of them, but
Not a lot. I know about Maldonado, the incumbent, right?
Mosley is the incumbent. Chuck Mosley.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know much.
And as we get a little closer,
Maldonado is the one that yelled a lot, right?
Yeah.
Him. I like what he stands for. Now that I remember exactly who it is, I like what he stands for. I think I do. I'm pretty sure this is the guy.
Yeah.
That's
this guy, Manny.
Yep, that's him.
Yeah.
The event we went to, what was it? The Freedom.
Yeah, it was like a Freedom Fest.
Freedom Fighter thing.
Oh, okay.
I liked what he said. I liked what he stood for. You can close that. I liked what he. He seemed very energetic.
He certainly is energetic.
He's passionate about what he believes in.
Yeah.
And you know what? I honestly think we could use more of that. A lot of these people don't seem to care. They seem to drone on and on about the same things they've said for 15 years in the same political office in the same exact position.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. We need some people with some.
It's nice to see that someone actually cares and deeply believes in what they're saying. And I support what he pretty much everything he said. Not quite 100%, but a good 98% of it. I fully and completely supported him and really, I guess for lack of a better word, connected with him on a level of like beliefs. He said a lot of things that I was finding other candidates wouldn't say.
I agree with
it kind
that.
of drove me mad that they wouldn't address things like that. And so,
So
if I could vote, I'd vote for him.
Absolutely. If you want to look for more information about Manny, you go to Facebook. It's Maldonado, the number 4, which irks me. Indiana 10.
It's internet lingo.
I understand
you
that.
Understand. It's not just a phase, man.
So let's see here. Okay, Secretary of State.
Does that ever
District
go
7.
away?
What's that?
Little post comments thing. Can you hit like a little X
No,
on it?
so
It's just there.
yeah, it's
All right.
because we can't send comments
I don't like
to
Rumble.
Rumble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you could.
I'm hoping that as it gets, better, that'll change.
Hopefully.
But let's see here. Okay. So District 11, Aylesworth, again, the only person on the ballot.
Where are we on this so I can start following along? Because right now I've been.
Right now we're at federal, state, county.
Got it.
This is Porter County, so District 11 probably won't be on there, but I'm kind of trying to switch back and forth. Which, you know what? I think I'm just going to stick to LaPorte County. District 9, obviously, is the incumbent, who, in my opinion, has done absolutely nothing. That's what I'm running on. I can't possibly do less than she has. It's not physically possible to accomplish less, because no bills have passed that she's authored. Only one has gone to committee. And if you guys have any experience, with the incumbent, by all means.
Don't show that comment. If they want to read it, that's fine. But don't.
Okay.
Remember, a vote for Bergeron is a vote for America. There you go. You can show that one. Because that was on the back of our shirts.
True.
Vote for Bergeron is a vote for America.
I've seen Pat Boy around town and been driven behind her a number of times. Other than that, I really don't know too much about her.
Right. Right.
She doesn't make.
She just seems like a normal person, I don't think
she doesn't appear on any social medias really. She's not that big on the internet. It's all like she does a little here and there, but it's not a large internet presence.
Well, that's one of the things that I would say is I have had people reach out to me that have had issues with her responding. They have written her letters. They have called her. She has not gotten back to them. And they've reached out on social media and been told that she doesn't have time to get back to them on social media, which is a problem for me, because this is the internet age.
Yeah, if you have to be able to immediately access the World Wide Web and shoot a reply back in a minute, then what do you have time for?
Not even a minute. I get that some, you can't immediately pick up the phone and get back to people right away.
I'm not talking.
Sometimes
I'm talking
you have
about it
stuff
takes a
going
minute.
on. Right.
It takes 1 minute to shoot a reply quickly.
Yeah, I get that vibe that her as a state rep, she doesn't really take it too seriously. Like, she just thinks it's just kind of a title, and she's like, yeah, I just do this thing on the side, Like, that's my vibe from her.
That is how it feels. It feels like this is a side job of hers.
Yeah.
Like
a side gig.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the people on her, whoever's running her site, I don't know who's running her social media, because she's not. It's very obvious when they answer, they say, Pat's too busy right now. If you do this, then maybe she'll reach back out to you or something.
Which she never does.
Right. But I actually had a voter send me screenshots of them asking pretty simple questions and
then them firing back.
Berating them and just unhinged stuff, unfortunately.
Yeah, called a Trumper, right? It wasn't.
Yeah. You sound like a Trumper, or sounds kind of Trumpy or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All they were doing was asking a question about the stances, and it was
ridiculous.
Honestly pretty ridiculous. So it is what it is. District 20 is actually to the east of us, kind of south. It includes LaPorte, that area. It goes into Stark County. Again, the only I'm going to say this though. In general, it's interesting and a little odd to me to see so many Republicans running unopposed.
Yeah.
Like, either there's not that many Democrats who want to be candidates, or maybe they are okay with them being in office. I don't know, but this is like the third. Yeah, this is like the third position, pretty up there position that I've seen.
It's not some like
that they're running unopposed. All right, now for the fun one. Prosecuting attorney, district attorney. We've got the incumbent John Lake and Republican Sean Fagan. By all means, guys, I'm a very open, free speech platform. Say what's on your mind. Who wants to go first? Because I got my own issues with them.
Yeah.
With both of them.
Yeah.
I met Sean, and he seemed like a nice guy, and he seemed up for the job. And Wake didn't want somebody die in the prison, and he refused to prosecute the person in the jail. Dion?
Yeah. So basically, I'm gonna give it really quickly. An inmate killed an officer. There was a lot of other stuff that was going on, but that's the end result. An inmate killed an officer, and for over a year and a half, there were no charges filed at all. Suddenly, before the election, charges were filed, but they were only going for life in prison, which this person is already serving that. There's nothing.
Essentially, as Elizabeth put it best, you can show that comment real quick. If you want to boil it down, yes. Just simply yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Right. Ben, do you know either of these or about either of these candidates?
Other than I'm aware of their names and their name ID, not really too much.
Okay. All right. That's good. So I'm going to tell you, I have, as you guys know, I'm a huge advocate for free speech. I've had trolls on my page that I never blocked or hid comments. They can say whatever they want. I am all for, I'm not going to complain about social media blocking and banning me while I block and ban people from my page.
Exactly.
People are allowed to say whatever they want, whenever they want, in my opinion. Right. So both candidates have had issues with that in the past,
yes.
With blocking people that say something they don't like, that are hiding comments. Both of them do it. Both of them have failed us as far as free speech goes. Now, that said, I cannot bring myself to vote for John Lake because of what he did.
I wouldn't either.
In several instances with offenders and charges.
It's in the
One of
title,
which-
and he could do a job. Probably. It's just
One of which is the incident at the prison.
Yeah.
I cannot. I have spent some time with Sean Fagan, and are there issues there? Absolutely. There are things that him and I just fundamentally disagree on,
but he'd do way better.
but I
than,
believe he would do a much better job. And you know, it's that simple. He didn't do his job. So,
On the other hand, you have Sean Fagan. Fagan's, yeah. You have Sean Fagan, and it's almost like he refuses to talk about why he'd be better.
he finally did.
He
Yeah.
finally did.
Yeah. He's
Because
finally done.
forever it felt like he is
There
worse.
for a while. Yeah. I will say there for a while, he was focused on the negative, focused on what his opponent wasn't doing.
And
And
he wouldn't touch on what he would do
Right,
to fix it. It was just constantly, he hasn't done this. Well, are you going to do this? Well, he didn't do that. And it was just this spiral of constant negativity towards the other opponent.
Right.
And he wouldn't talk about what he could do better.
yeah. Have you guys heard any of his ads? Either of them for that.
I have
matter.
not.
No.
Okay.
No.
I like to ask that because we've spent all the candidates, not all, but the vast majority of candidates have spent money on ads. And it's interesting to know who and who hasn't seen them, right? You guys have obviously seen Jennifer Ruth Green and Frank Mervan ads, but we haven't seen many of the local ads, which is really disappointing because I got some ads on the radio about 2 weeks before my opponent decided to do the same thing. But it's interesting to find out, like, these ads aren't really getting to their audience, right? Their target audience. You guys are the target audience. You know, they want you to vote for them. So it's interesting to note that maybe that was, you know, kind of wasted money. Okay.
The only local ad that I've seen was Jeff Larson.
Okay, so you did see a Larson ad.
Yeah.
I did see a Larson ad.
Okay.
And
Have
I
you
heard
seen
one.
Poll ad?
I have seen a Polish too on YouTube.
Okay.
I've seen
All right,
two
so you
Jeff
guys have
Larsons,
seen-
one on YouTube and one on the radio.
Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. Have you guys seen or heard any ads for? So we got Jennifer Ruth Green, which is, you know, District 1 Congress. We've got State Senate District 4. Have you guys seen or heard any ads for any other positions?
No.
No, that's it.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Cool. All right. Anything else you guys want to say about the prosecuting attorney?
Nope.
No, I don't have anything to add.
Okay. All right. I just want to say one last thing. Prosecuting attorney is an exceptionally important position, and it kind of sets the tone for crime in the county. Again, there are some quibbles that I have. There are some major disagreements that I have with the incumbent, but I have talked to Fagan at length, and I truly believe that he would be a better option than what we have currently.
Now that he's finally talking about what he can do better,
Yeah.
I do too. That was my main issue with the guy. Is just he was so focused on the other opponent.
Right.
There was never anything about him. But
Yeah.
I mean, it seems that he's getting out of that little rut he put himself in.
Yeah, he's
And
done much better.
Other than that, I can't really find myself any reason that he wouldn't be better.
Yeah.
So
Fair. Okay, so we have a huge race here in LaPorte County that I believe is very, very close. We have Andy Heineck and Ron Heeg both running for LaPorte County Sheriff. What you guys have any input on that race?
I do not.
he is the Democrat.
No, he is the Republican. Heineck is the
Getting
Democrat.
those, wait a minute.
It's all right.
Yeah, because Heineck has the big blue sign, right?
Yeah, Heineck is the big blue
that's
sign.
what it is. I kept getting those two flipped around with the names.
Okay, so here it is. County
Yeah,
Sheriff.
yeah.
Okay.
It's remarkably similar names. Egan Heineck, they both.
Yeah, they are close.
They're flipping me around.
So I have talked to Ron many times now, but just since running for office. He is a genuinely nice guy, and he is very adamant about protecting our rights. I don't know that much about Andy, but I will say Heineck. I will say Liz brings up a good point. I worry about Heineck's affiliation with the far left. Not just the moderate Democrats, but he seems to fall into that progressive Democrat mentality. Now, I've heard from people who know him who say that he's very adamant about our rights as well. But I offered him the opportunity to come onto the show, just like I do everyone, and he declined. Well, actually, to be fair to him, he said he would come on and then ghosted me. So,
what a spectacular look!
Yeah, unfortunately,
I think that he would just do it's like in a better job at it than Heineck.
Yeah, you think Ron would?
I really do, because.
Well, I'm gonna give a little bit of information. So those guys, we may or may not, know that much about them, but I will say they've both been at the department for a very long time. Ron has lots of experience with administrative, and he's been second in command for the last 8 years at the sheriff's department. He is chief deputy. So he is the number 2. He's essentially already been running the department. The only thing is one step up. Heineck, on the other hand, has not. So he's kind of already. And you know what? That's one thing I will give both of them. They have both run a clean and civil campaign.
You don't see that often.
You don't.
And it's
neither one are bashing the other. There's no negative things going out there about either of them.
It's been a very quiet race.
It has.
Finally, it's always nice to see a race that isn't constantly sabotage this person and bash them.
Yeah. So, anything you guys want to add on county sheriff?
Just wrong order.
Nope, not really.
I guess may the best candidate win.
Absolutely. Here's the thing. I will say this. I don't think we're doomed no matter who wins.
No.
Some of these races, especially for sheriff and other areas, can absolutely destroy the county. Yeah. So I will say no matter who wins, I think we're in pretty good hands. I just think we'd be in better hands if Ron Heeg wins.
Yes. And I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Right. So assessor, you guys know much about county assessor?
Oh Lord, how in the world?
You're looking at his name and how
yeah, I am looking at his name. This looks like something off of Alderaan. What is this? Matt, hold on. Matt Weishin?
Yeah, Matt Weishin.
Yeah, I don't know either candidate, but I know they assess the prices of homes. So,
well, that's why I have it shared. But anyway,
yeah, they're not going to be able to do that. Matt, John, whatever. There's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to pronounce that again.
Yeah. So his name, the Republican candidate's name is John Matwishin. I've heard him say it enough times that I kind of remember. You know what?
You man,
assessor. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it should be a political office, but it is. The big thing is how are the homes assessed, the assessed value, which interestingly enough, the assessor has pretty much unlimited control over how they assess your property. If they want to, increase taxes, because there's a certain percentage that they're allowed to assess, or tax-wise, right? Tax rate that they're allowed to set. I don't know offhand. I don't remember what the percentage is, but it's set. It's like in the Constitution for Indiana. There's a certain amount that they can go. But they can easily bypass that by just assessing your property at a much higher value.
We can't tax them over $10,000. Well, their house is worth $18 million. Now give us, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
right. And there have been issues in the past with assessors doing just that. So
I'm not sure how much greedier you can get by doing something like that. It's just lower than the lowest role.
So Another really, really important race is the LaPorte County Commissioner. Now, I'm sure you guys are familiar because I've talked about him before. Joe Haney, I've had him on the show. Very, very good patriot and trying to get done the best that he can. As it stands currently, Joe is outvoted on everything because one of the people is Sheila Mateus. The other is Rich Mrazinski. Now, Rich was actually, he's not up for election now, but he will be in 2 years. He was actually removed from the Republican Party because he is not a Republican. He protects Sheila. He votes with Sheila every single time. And there's a lot of shenanigans going on with him. But he's not up for election. Let's talk about Sheila versus Grandma Rose. Are you guys familiar with either candidate?
Yeah, I am. I've met Connie. Yeah.
Familiar with Connie.
Okay, so Shawn, what do you have to say about this?
I think it's to hopefully get a Republican in there, but what do you think the chances of that with Michigan City? I'm not sure with an incumbent. We'll see.
Actually, I think it's going to be a close race. The polls are looking very good. Based on the polling that some organizations have done, it's put it this way. Sheila has a much tougher race than I think she thought possible. Obviously, my wife ran for commissioner in the primary. She lost. Connie won. So any and every issue that I had with her vanished because we have to support each other. And I truly believe that Connie would do a much better job than Sheila.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sheila is almost worst case scenario.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
We are.
Yeah. We're actually almost done because I don't have any information about local races, unfortunately. And I'm going to burn through these real quick and ask you guys if you know anything about them. I just want to do commissioner real quick. And then we'll actually.
Okay.
Do you guys know of any other local races that you know information about, like candidate wise, that you have an opinion to share? I believe I sent Shawn the link or the images, both of you actually, for the federal, state, and county candidates. If you know of somebody, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just finish up with commissioner here, and then we'll talk about kind of the national.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have anything to add.
Okay. What do you guys have any other than vote Republican, obviously? What is your biggest reason for wanting a change at the county commissioner level?
Well, it'd be nice to have. Wasn't it they did? What we noticed that with the lockdowns was that it's important who your commissioners were, because I think they were the ones who did the mask mandates and who did
Absolutely.
the lockdowns. So you got to have a Republican
thank you for
in there.
mentioning that. So there are some serious issues going on, some serious problems with the commissioners. And the only way we're going to move forward is by getting rid of Sheila. Getting rid of Sheila is going to get rid of Shaw. Get rid of Shaw. I think we're going to start seeing a lot fewer, let's put it that way, a lot fewer issues in the county. There seems to be this kind of behind the scenes power broker thing going on. And
I think both Sheila and Shaw need to, just catch a ride as soon as possible, because with those two both, and it's just never going to go right. They both remain.
Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a chance to talk about what you want. I know there's some races that you guys want to talk about. Let's jump on that, and then when you guys are done, I'll just dig up info on these candidates and pass them out to those that want to know.
Okay. Well, nationally, there's Senate and House races up for grabs, and the big one is Pennsylvania that everybody's talking about between Dr. Oz and Fetterman, and I think it's gonna go. I think Dr. Oz is gonna end up winning that race. What do you think, Ben?
It's definitely going to be very close. If you happen to watch the debate, you saw a lot of the mistakes and errors that John Fetterman made.
Oh my God, that debate was hard to watch.
It was bad.
It was like
really, really bad.
We saw some excerpts of it, and just watching Fetterman stumble over things over and over it was embarrassing. I legitimately felt bad for him.
Yeah. It was difficult to watch and not like it was difficult to take literally anything he said seriously in any capacity, just because of how unhinged it came across, just of how it was ridiculous.
Right.
It was completely inane, It
And
was off the rails sometimes. It was
one thing I think that is kind of important to touch on is there seem to be people that believe that he's going to get exponentially better in a short amount of time.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, it's not how strokes work.
Yeah.
He's actually at the maximum improvement, or at least very, very close. I don't think he's going to get substantially better. Did you guys see
certainly not better, not good enough for him to be
a sitting U.S. senator? Right.
Yeah, a coherent senator.
Right.
It's just.
Did you guys see the video of him saying that his president is what was it? Not treason. Something free, and then all the flags blew down behind him. Did you see that?
No.
I did not.
Hold on, let me. Go ahead.
Just anything and everything he says is just hard to watch.
Did this happen today?
It was very, very. Hold on. Okay, so this is Newsweek, Fox News, YouTube. Can't do YouTube. No, because they could potentially
copyright you.
Yeah, they could. Hold on. We'll do.
Don't you get to do stuff like that?
I'll have to look.
Yeah, but it's just okay. So let's see how.
Another big race is in Georgia between Herschel Walker and the incumbent.
Here we go.
Raphael Warnock.
All right.
Here we go.
You got the video.
I'm running to serve Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but this isn't. Hold on. This is not the one. It cuts in a little too late because he says. Let's see.
You can do this. You're a great researcher.
Right.
Man, we should get
Right.
She'd have this. She'd have this done in 10 minutes flat.
I can't
What,
remember.
is that a Charmin?
Yeah, it's a Charmin commercial. I can't. And of course, it's unskippable.
At least it's not a Mervan ad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not.
Thanks, Frank.
Right. Thanks, Frank.
Classic, Frank.
Okay. Yeah. Sedition free. That's what it was. Okay. Here it is. And then boom.
That is
something about my. Yeah.
That is 100% sedition free.
Cathode.
Yeah, he was talking about how Obama is 100% sedition free, and then the flags immediately blow over. Absolutely amazing.
There's something to be said. Right?
Wow.
It's hard to make a joke better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, put it this way, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. Very disappointed in the American people if they elect this clown.
I'm already extremely disappointed in a lot of the American population.
Well, so am I. But really, truly disappointed because I disagree with his politics, even though I do, not because
he cannot be competent for that job.
Right.
It's nearly impossible for that to be acceptable in any capacity.
Right.
It's just no.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
It's just unacceptable.
I don't even need to say anything.
It'll probably determine the Senate majority, who's in the majority.
Right, and that's the other thing is, based on these races, based on these races, it'll determine who's in control of the United States Senate, which we've seen what happens when the Democrats are in charge of the Senate. It does not end well for freedom lovers at all. So you mentioned another race, Shawn. I'm sorry, I wanted to
Georgia.
Georgia, yeah.
Georgia between Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock. I think Warnock's going to pull it off and beat Herschel. What do you think, Ben?
I mean, it's going to be very close. But a lot of people are saying that Walker is going to pull it out.
We'll see.
I mean, Rick Scott was talking about it. But, I mean, it's all based on polls, and polls are only as good as the electorate that shows up, Like, people could be entirely wrong with polls. You don't know who's going to show up on Election Day.
That's very true. I believe we have a turnout problem. People really, really need to get their butts down to the voting booth and
in person.
Vote in person. Absolutely.
What's funny is there's already a bunch of public like tweets and Facebook posts and all that about literal voter fraud that's going on. People dumping multiple ballots. And it's like, how are these people not? It's been proven people can be tracked down from these accounts and nothing's being done about it at all. People are posting, hey, look at these 18 ballots I just dumped into this thing, and absolutely nothing's being done. Not so much as hey, don't do that. Like, absolutely.
I'm really hoping that the governing bodies that are in charge of this are going to step up and make something happen, because in Michigan, I think they've got video of people dropping off multiple ballots at
covering up their license
boxes, covering up their license plates and whatnot. So all we can do is show up and vote. The more people show up, the harder it'll be for any potential issues to take care of that.
And if you get sent a ballot, don't open it and show up to the voting location in person. And if they tell you you can't vote, you already voted, you can pull out your unopened voter ballot and say, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Show me the records. So
Hey, are you guys keeping track of Carrie Lake in Arizona?
Yeah. I think she's going to win.
You think she's going to win?
I think she'll pull it off in Arizona. Yeah, I do. The candidate, I can't think of her name. The Democrat running is not a very good candidate.
She's really not. She's not a strong candidate at all.
Yeah, Katie Hobbs.
That's it. Yeah, I think Carrie Lake's. But in the Senate race, I do think that Mark Kelly is going to be reelected, the Democrat, over Blake Masters.
Oh, yeah, Blake Masters. I was about to ask who was running against him, but Kelly's kind of.
I mean, it's gotten tighter in the last couple of weeks. Mark Kelly's still liked by certain McCain supporters. So it's probably enough to go over 50%.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the New York governor's race, man? That's pretty wild, isn't it? For the first time in many years, New York is in play for a Republican governor.
Of all places, New York. That's what tell you.
Yeah, Delton's within 3 points. Isn't it 3 points?
Yeah, it's between about 3 and 4 points away. I mean,
it's just
you could sway enough people, and he could pull off an upset like Pataki did years ago.
Yeah,
in 2002.
I think a lot of these races are going to be much, much closer. or are going to go a different way than a lot of people think. The interesting thing is the closer we get to election day, remember all these polls that started off many months ago at Democrats up, 14 points or whatever. The closer we get to election day, the bigger the lead is becoming on Republican side. I mean, it is completely flipped to, red being up. I know that the local polls they run have shown Republicans up significantly in all races, like all races that are traditionally, even more local.
And they're winning in the generic ballot, which doesn't usually happen. Usually Democrats are leading on the generic ballot. I think they're up by 2 or 3 points.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting no matter what. Are there any other races that you're like really excited to watch?
Washington State's one to watch between Patty Murray and Tiffany Smiley. That's a deep blue state, and Patty Murray looks like she's in trouble. I'm not sure what's the exact numbers, Ben.
Well, I think Smiley's like within 4 or 5 points. Patty Murray's been polling below 50%.
Really?
And
it's pretty close.
Interesting. Yeah, that is Washington State, especially. Like, it's been blue, and always going to be blue as far as a lot of people are concerned. But that's interesting. That, like New York, is definitely going to be something to watch.
If anything tells you about how wildly the politics are changing in this country, it's places like New York and Washington flipping.
Yeah,
that is unheard of. And if you need to hear anything else about how insane this set of elections is going to be, then
right. One of the things that I'm really interested to see is let's say Republicans retake the House, which I think is a certainty. The left, even the talking heads, have said that the Republicans are definitely going to retake the House. The question is by how much? And it used to be by only a couple of seats. Now they're projecting, huge shift, right? If that's the case, if we pick up 30, 40, 50 seats, what would you guys like to see Republicans accomplish? Assuming they take the House and at least get a slim majority in the Senate, where Republicans could actually get some stuff done.
It's very limited what they could do, too, though, because Biden is still going to be president. But
so they'll need that 2/3.
There's things that they could do policy-wise, like try to open up different areas for oil exportation, trying to lower gas prices, or just try to cut maybe spending, bring back Rand Paul's penny plan.
I'd like to see that.
We got to cut spending.
I doubt it's even possible anymore. I'm not saying this is exactly something that should be done if Republicans take the Senate and the House and all that. But I'd like to see eventually at some dollar get back on some sort of standard, because it's
right.
Ever since it was taken off a standard of silver or gold, it's been chaos.
Speaking of, are you the one, Shawn, that sent me that about the bill that wanted the dollar to be backed by gold again?
I would be fine with that, but it'd be hard to get it passed because there's some Republicans that would probably oppose that.
Oh yeah,
I don't think there's enough support.
It's not totally impossible, at least nearly impossible.
There's not enough support within the Republican Party for that, unfortunately.
Was that you that sent me that, though?
I think it was. Maybe.
Trying to see.
No, I don't think it was me.
It was interesting. I'm trying to remember who sent me that. But I found it very, very interesting because we haven't heard of any of that for quite a while.
But anyway, at least something to be done about the ridiculous inflation rate taking this country by storm ever since Biden was instated as president.
Oh yeah,
like that needs to change, or else this country is going to turn.
Oh, for sure,
So-
for sure. And I think one of the best things that they can do is, first of all, to back off the federal government in their push for regulating firearms and coming after our guns, basically. A lot of that is going to come down to putting people into the places that need it, that have that kind of control. Yeah. Unfortunately, the presidency still controls putting those people in. But one thing they can do is start passing a balanced budget. We know they won't.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we could actually see where all this money is supposed to be going.
It'd be nice to pass that, but it's not going to happen.
Right. Unfortunately, it really would be nice. Yeah. Any other races or events that you guys would like to talk about?
The one seat that I think is going to flip for Republicans is Nevada, between the incumbent Catherine Cortez Masto and Adam Wetzel. It looks like Adam Wetzel is going to beat. Is that how you say it?
Interesting.
What the polls? Yeah.
It says about Adam Laxalt has about 3% more than Cortez. But the reason I really think that Laxalt's going to pull it out is because the governor's race. The governor of Nevada right now, Steve Sisolak, he's not very popular anymore after COVID. Joe Lombardo is already polling above 50%, so I think that race is going to carry over to the Senate, and that's how Laxalt's going to pick up the Senate seat.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. I think a lot of these races, as a matter of fact, I think a lot of the national stuff or state level things there's gonna be a lot of down ballot pickups because of things like, for example, the Arizona governor's race with Kerry Lake and what's the name?
Katie Hobbs.
Hobbs, that's it. Yeah, Lake versus Hobbs. I don't see the support for Hobbs. I mean, this was someone who was blatantly far left. And Lake, I mean, you can call her whatever you want, but she's smart, she's witty, and she handles the cameras like a pro.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some definite down ballot pickups because of that. They're going to go in, they're going to vote, you know what, Republican down the ballot, and then they might go down and change a couple of local. But I think in general, we're going to see a lot of Republican pickups because of that. What do you guys
Another
think?
one that's
any other races you're focused on?
Another one is in New Hampshire between the incumbent Maggie Hassan and Don Boltot. Hassan only won her seat in 2016 by like 1,000 votes. So I think that's possible that Republicans pick up, but I'm not exactly sure on that one. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah.
I mean, before a lot of people were saying that it was locked up and everything, that the Democrats had it. But I mean, polls have definitely changed in the last 2 weeks. I mean, as much as 2%. I mean, it's within the margin of error. Not a whole lot of people in New Hampshire. So, I mean, numbers can fluctuate. So, I mean, he's within it, but I think that she's going to keep her seat.
Okay.
I wish Kelly
All right.
Ayotte would have ran for that, because she probably would have won. The former senator. Don't you think?
Yeah. Do you guys think that it's going to be a massive red tidal wave, or do you think there's only going to be like a few, not a few, but like a large number? Yeah, but not this overwhelming thing that we're hearing about.
I think it's not going to be overwhelming, because Democrats are energized just like Republicans are because of the Dobbs decision that overturned Roe versus Wade. I think Republicans are going to win the majority. Republicans are going to win the majority in the House. They're probably going to win 24 seats and then probably 1 seat in the Senate. So they'll have majority in both the Senate and the House. Newt Gingrich was on Fox News a couple nights ago on Hannity, he was predicting 5 Senate seats and 44 House seats, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a wave. What do you think, Ben?
I think that they're going to probably pick up close to 30 seats in the House and maybe 1 or 2 Senate seats. I think it'll be a solid red wave, but it's not going to be overwhelming.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
What do you think, Dion?
Based on what's that?
Yeah.
So
what do you think?
Oh, you know what? I was very, very cautious coming into the year, into this election. I was looking at the numbers, I was looking at the people, and I think other than a handful of kind of controversial, candidates, I guess, for lack of a better term, the Oz one, like, I pray to God that Oz wins, not because I particularly like Dr. Oz, but good God, man, Fetterman is a joke. But there are those people that are still hanging on to the dislike for Oz from his TV persona. Yeah, he has name recognition, but it's not necessarily positive. But you know what? I think overall, looking at the numbers, I think we're going to see maybe not an overwhelming red wave, but a definitively large. I think we're going to see a whole bunch of positions. If you guys remember in 2020, pretty much the only Republicans that lost were the president allegedly, and then a few scattered here and there, in mostly blue states. But like in general, Republicans have a ton of seats. I think we're going to have that again.
They did 2020.
Yeah.
Should we go on, or do you want to?
I mean, if you guys, it's up to you guys. I'm just going to cover the local. I got to cover the local races and tell people where they can find out more. It's up to you guys if you want to, kind of hang around for that. Or if you want to dip out, it's up to you. You guys said you don't really know that much information about the local races, so
yeah.
Okay.
But I greatly appreciate you guys coming on, and I appreciate the discussion. I love having quality conversations with people. I live for it, man. It really is. I find it interesting. I find it fascinating, even if may or may not necessarily agree with people. That's why I love when people of opposing parties, whether Libertarian or Democrat, actually deign to come onto the show. We can have those discussions about things that we don't necessarily agree on, which I want to point out real quick. I discovered something that I found actually really, really interesting. You know that Bill Maher from HBO has this podcast, and he had Kid Rock on.
Oh.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. I know
either.
Bill Maher likes to have people with a different opinion on, and he likes to hear what they have to say. I've seen that a number of times.
Yeah, it wasn't on his HBO show. I forgot what the name of it is, but if you go to YouTube and put in Bill Maher, Kid Rock, and it's this podcast. They're sitting like right next to each other, and he got Bill Maher to agree that Trump did a few positive things. They didn't focus on Trump because obviously Bill Maher's not a Trump guy, but they had a lot of really interesting things that they talked about, and that's the kind of thing that I really enjoy, live for. So I'd like to eventually have that, more people on the show, and I think if I get elected, it'll give me the opportunity to have more people of different political persuasion on, so that we can have those kinds of discussions.
Yeah, I agree. It's important to have conversations. Sometimes you can learn something,
Absolutely. All right, guys, I appreciate you coming on. Like I said, you're welcome to hang out. I'm gonna.
Yep, thank you for having us.
All right. Yep. Thank you.
You bet.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night. Okay, we're going to continue covering the elections here. So let's see here. Okay, we did the commissioner. Now, County Council District 1, Mike Killams. I don't know him. Justin Keel, though. Justin Keel, man. Justin, have you met Justin Keel?
No, can't say I have.
He's the guy that when he was 17, he bought 2 newspapers and took them over.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
You told me about that.
Yeah, he looks really young, but he's super smart, super driven. He is town councilman for La Crosse and has been since he was 18. Yeah, he was the youngest person ever elected to the town council there. So I obviously support Justin.
I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Let me get.
This is a good point for me to take a quick break.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna get his information so people can learn more about him. Let's see here. There's his LinkedIn. Okay, so all right, yeah. So Liz has a list here: Deb Vance, Justin Keel, Mike Rosenbaum, and Aaron Kirk. Now, if you go to it's Justin Keel for county council. If you put it in Facebook, I don't see anything else. Oh, here it is. Yeah, JustinKeel.com. All right. So excellent. There we go. Oh, it takes you back here. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. And you can reach him via email if you have some questions for him at elect@JustinKeel.com. Let's see here. So Aaron Kirk. Now, I hadn't been able to find out much about Aaron, but Liz said actually Ballotpedia, there is a lot of information there. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find the Ballotpedia link. It doesn't pop up on page 1. So let me get it for you because I do think. Oh, yeah. Okay, so here it is. Oh, no, it's not. I'm sorry. It's not Ballotpedia. It's Vote 411. That's right. Let's see here. Okay, that's really weird. Let's just go to Vote 411 and type them in because it's not working that way. So vote411.org. Okay, now let's try this again. Let's go here and search. Let's see here. There should be a search button, but I don't see one. So candidate, there we go. Okay. Wow, this is really hard to find information. I can't believe there's no search. Like, why is this so difficult? I would like to see if anybody from League of Women Voters who runs Vote 411 is watching this, please add a search because this sucks. All right, well, we're just going to put 46360. There's no reason that should be there. All right, so which, let's see here. What is County Council? District 1. Okay, so County Council, District 1. There. All right, County Council, District 1. Here we go. All right. Wow. All right. So you can find his Facebook page. All right. There we go. GhostandKeel.com. And then here is all of that. All right, good. Let's go back. County Council, District 2. Yeah, I put the wrong one. All right. No.
Not really.
Oh my goodness, this is terrible. Here's the thing. I really like Vote 411, but I do think there should be a search button so that you can go to the candidate.
Yeah.
This is. Okay, so here we go. If you put in County Council District 2, LaPorte County Council District 2, Aaron Kirk versus Randy Novak, and there's some actual information here. So you got to go to District 2, change the address, etc. So if we go to change address and you just do it won't let you. All right. So apparently you have to put, see, I don't like that. There should be an easier way to get to. Yeah, I don't like this at all. I don't like the way that it did. I don't like it. So unfortunately, it's kind of limited. But if you put your address in, then it'll bring up this stuff. But so District 3 is Deb Vance for sure. She is amazing. I like her. Super involved in the community. For District 4, so good. Okay, District 4 is Spivak versus Rosenbaum. Now, I want to show you this because this is just silly. Hold on. Let me pull this. Okay. Let me get to this because I'm going to show you this. This is so. All right, so there it is. Okay, put this back up here. All right, so the Spivak campaign is choosing to hand out. Yeah. Take it easy, buddy. All right.
You know it.
So they're preaching, will bring back American jobs or for the American worker. And they got these crappy made in China bells that they're handing out. We need to stop giving China our money. I have tried to buy American in every possible sense. That just shows what we got here. So the Cass Township trustee, Dara Lee Goose, now Cass Township board, Rodney Peters, Tricia Rosenbaum, and Jacqueline Treese Tharp. Center Township trustee, Lisa Pierzakowski. She's running unopposed. So Center Township board, Amy Burris, Dwayne Miller, Bob Walensky. Let's see here. Wait. No, crap. There's the list of Republicans if you want to take a screenshot. This is for Michigan Township trustee, Michigan Township board. Now, I know Robert Loney personally for Michigan Township board. Fantastic individual. He has always been there for me, even before he really knew who I was, politically or otherwise. You ask the man for something, he's there. He actually ran in, I don't remember what year, but he ran for mayor in the Republican primary. And then Billy Green. So these are the three. New Durham Township trustee right here. Noble Township. Now, I want to show you, because I think it's important. I have all this information if you guys want to see it, but let's go down here. It's further down. Is this I want to get down to school board because there's not too many that I know of, but there are people that I know. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go through here. Okay, so LaPorte Community School Board. I know the Pinkertons. They are good people. I do not know anyone else. Now, on the Michigan City Area School Board, civic duty, right? I know Michael Gresham personally, and he has become further left every year. He used to be a strong Republican. He married a teacher at some point, and then he has moved further and further left. He denies that CRT even happens, and the whole left agenda. Unfortunately, I can't recommend voting for him unless you're happy with what's happening to schools across the country and being demonized for thinking parents should have control. That's about it. Let me see if there's anything on. I had seen. Yeah, let me pull this down. Let me see if I can get to. There's something in particular that I'm looking for real quick, and if I can find it. That's not it. Let's go back. Okay, so yeah, here it is. All right, so let me get the. I'm looking for. Okay, if you want. Okay, here it is. Duneland School Board. Let me find it. These are townships, etc. Trying to get down to the school board. Okay, so all right. So Porter County. Let me bring this back up. All right. So Porter County, I know Duneland School Corporation, the Liberty Township, Philip Graylick is a freedom-loving patriot, at-large member. Noreen Legan, freedom-loving patriot. I do not know anyone else. So there you go. I know this ended up turning kind of long, but unfortunately, I wanted to make sure that I got to cover the people that I asked to join us and get the stuff that they wanted to cover, because they really wanted to talk about the national races, and I'm all for that. But it ran much longer than I thought, so I do apologize for that. I may end up just uploading the list with some highlights and giving you the opportunity to check it out yourself. And feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I would never, ever tell someone who to vote for, but I can tell you the people that I know and my opinion of them if you're interested in that. So thank you very much for joining me. We're long video, I know, but I appreciate your time. It's almost over, one way or another, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost there. A couple days left, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be glad when it's done. So Hopefully, I'll be your new state representative, and we'll get some things done. But as far as everyone else, vote your heart, vote your conscience. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Indiana, and God bless the United States of America. Have a good